Okay, in this part of the lesson, we'll be writing coordinates from plotted points. In our previous part of the lesson, we were given a set of coordinates and then had to put that point on the graph. Today, what we're going to be doing is they're going to be giving us that point and asking us to write the coordinates. We'll still be using that XY, that over, then up or down. It's just that this time we're going to find the numbers where it crosses. So as we look through this and we look at point A, we can see that point A is crossing here as well as there. Now, some students like to draw that little line so that they can see where it's crossing at, and that's perfectly fine. So now we need to decide the order in which we're going to put those. So we have a 7 and a -1. Well, the order is to always put our X number first. So if we look at the number that we circled on our X line, that was -1, comma, and then our Y line, if we notice here, was at 7. So -1, comma 7. Now A, just to review our quadrants, A would fall in quadrant. Well, let's review really quick. Quadrants are 1, 2, 3, and 4, starting in the upper right hand and working counterclockwise. So A would fall in quadrant 2, or it could also be written like this in Roman numerals. Okay, so let's go ahead and try another one. Okay, this was our A. Let's go ahead and do B, C, and D. So let's see, B. Well, it looks like it's crossing. Okay, so remember we always do our X first and then our Y. So we go over on our X line to 9, and we go up on our Y line to 2. So 9, comma 2. The quadrant that would fall in would be quadrant 1, or it could be written out as Roman numeral number 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and do C. Let's see, C is crossing. Okay, remember it's eyes over, then up or down. So on our X line, here's our X. It looks like it's crossing at -3. And on our Y line, which is this line, it is crossing at a -2. Okay, and that would fall in quadrant 3, or it could be stated as 1, 2, 3 lines as a Roman numeral 3. And our last one would be D. So we're going to go over, and then I went ahead and drew over my 4 there. But we're going to go over to 4 and down to -5. So 4, comma, -5. Now, the better you get at these, the less you'll have to probably draw those lines. But when you're first starting, it kind of helps your eyes focus on what numbers. Always remember it's your X and then your Y. So our quadrant that this would fall in would have been quadrant 4. Or in Roman numerals, it's an I with a V, which is 1 before the 5. V stands for 5. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of points to try. Oops. Maybe, if it wants to work with me here. All right, there we go. So I'll plot a couple new points. So let's go ahead and do, we'll call this point A. And why don't we do point B there. So go ahead and pause your video and then write the coordinates for A and for B, and also your quadrants, and then check back in just a couple of minutes. Okay, so you should have gotten for A, over to 4 down to -7, and that was in quadrant 4. And then for B, over to -7 up to +3, and that was in quadrant 2. Good luck with this part of the lesson.